Thank you, Lily. We are so lucky to have you, and that was beautiful. Appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see. It's great to see so many faces out there, and welcome to all our folks on Zoom, and even to those that may watch this as a recording later. Welcome, welcome. I'm Debbie Skirdo. I'm the board president, and I'll share a few announcements with you today. As you know, the Adopt a Family gifts are due today. This was the deadline, and it looks like we have had a lot of nice donations, so hopefully the kids will be very happy. Also, if you have questions, see Robert Tidwell. Sorry, Robert, but he's the main man on that. This Tuesday, which is the 10th, we will be hosting a Housing Claremont meeting here at 5 p.m. and I'm not sure if that'll be in the sanctuary or in the sanctuary. Okay, great. So I think other people are welcome, or is it just a certain committee? Everybody who's interested in finding out more about the low-income housing and how that's all going throughout Claremont, come on down for that meeting. Also, Tuesday will be our weekly Taco Tuesday on Zoom. And I think that's still true. I haven't messed that one up. Okay, good. I like it. On Wednesday, December 11th, there will be an administrative team meeting on Zoom at 7 p.m. So those of you on that team will be getting a link. And that will be coming through. I think Megan Gallagher will send you that. And on Saturday, the 14th, which is, boy, is it coming fast, we're having a work party, which we hope many, many, many people will turn up for. We're going to try to conquer all the pine needles and also the rain gutters before we get lots of rain. Pretty good idea. And it will start at 8 a.m. Much better choice. 8 a.m. and it'll go till you have to leave, basically.
Go till 12.
Till 12.
Come when you can and go when you need to.
Okay, did you hear that? Come when you can and go when you need to, and it'll go from 8 to 12. If you have tools, appropriate tools, gloves, bring those with you also. There will be snacks provided, and children are welcome if the parents can supervise them. Okay? And that's Saturday. Now, Sunday, the 15th, is our choir Christmas concert. And you know we do some zany things. We have a lot of fun. We have some really beautiful songs chosen. And we also are doing our little sponsor a song fundraiser again. We would like to see that you could adopt a carol, a Christmas carol. Like, here's one you want us to sing, and, you know, give a nice donation for that. Or if you want to just put a donation in, we've done sort of cutesy things, like if you want to be a whole note, we suggested a donation of $50. If you want to be a half note, $25, a quarter note, $15, an eighth note, $5, or a rest, any amount. Okay? But we appreciate it. It will all go to the general fund. It's not a choir thing. It's for everybody. And that will be on the 15th as the regular service. So don't miss it. Come on out and enjoy the sing-along part and everything too. Then, Gathering Around Grief will have its Blue Christmas ritual here on Wednesday the 18th at 7 p.m. And also not that day. The community team will be meeting after the service. Okay, I don't have the date for that. Who's community? 15th. Okay, good. I'm glad you're reading it because it's probably more accurate. But then on the 21st will be the Christmas potluck party. And that will be on the 21st, Saturday at 6 p.m. And there will be more information in the community connections. And last but not least, please come and bring your family and friends to celebrate the inspiration of peace, love, and light at the Christmas Eve candlelight celebration. It will start at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, December 24th, and cookies and warm cider will follow. So everyone's welcome to enjoy that with us. All right, thank you. And now I turn it over to Robert Tidwell, our Director of Lifespan Exploration. Oh, Lord. Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration.
That's such a long title.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Robert Tidwell.
We gotta get me a shorter title. We sound the bowl 3 times. Once for those who came before. Once for those here now. And once for those who will come. Now please stand as you're able, and we will sing our opening song. It's number 362, Rise Up, O Flame. It'll also be on the screen. Thank you. And Alan and Letha, could you come up and light the chalice, please, while I read our chalice lighting words? I forgot to ask in advance. I hope it's okay. I know how we do it here. Yeah. We light the. Our chalice lighting words come from Sarah Ruth Wakoy Davis. We light this chalice with an open heart. We light this chalice with resolve. We light this chalice with tears still fresh on our cheeks. We light this chalice in hope, a tiny flame we nurture. We light this chalice with reverence for this place, for these people, and for this time. We light this chalice with all of our soul's longing to be who we are, to be who we will become, to be ourselves. And we light this chalice in self-love, in giving love, and in holy love. Now please rise again while we sing. Some of you did, I'm sorry. So we'll do Spirit of Life in English and then Spanish, and then we'll read our covenant, so you stay standing. Read our covenant. We affirm that love is the greatest purpose of this congregation. The search for truth is our constant star, and service is our prayer. We pledge our hearts, minds, and hands to challenge injustice with courage, to make choices for a healthier planet, and to live out our universalist values every day as a beloved community. Thus do we covenant with each other and with all that is sacred in life. Thank you. You can be seated now for a little while. In religious exploration, one of our traditions for a long time was to have our children read out our principles in the form of rainbow promises. And recently, the UUA adopted a change to Article 2, which changed sort of the way we frame our religion and the way we talk about it. And now we have values that we uphold. And one way that we help the children to learn these values is by introducing them to our new friend, Jet Pig. Jet Pig was donated by Alan and Letha, of course, because they do so much around here. You're going to hear about them a lot today. And his name is really special because J is for justice, and this means the work that we... this means that we work for a better world for everyone, and we use our democratic process to make decisions. This will guide us to be a diverse, beloved community. E is for equity. Equity means that we work for a peaceful and fair world. Equity means that we all get to have some of everything. T is for transformation, and that means transformation means we keep growing and learning together and know that this will change us. P is for pluralism. Pluralism means that more than one way. We celebrate that we have many sources that inspire us and that we make room for different cultures, experiences, and beliefs. I is for interdependence. Interdependence means that we are all connected, people, creatures, and our planet, and we honor them all by taking care of each other. And G is for generosity. Generosity means that we have giving hearts and that we share what we have and that we practice being grateful. And Jet Pig wants me to tell you to always remember also that love is at the center of everything that we do. And so that is our new ritual. We usually have the kids do it, but we don't have very many kids here today. Okay. And now we'll have our time for all ages. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the story that we're going to have. You may have heard the Christmas carol, Over the River and Through the Woods. And this is based on a poem by Lydia Maria Child, who was a Unitarian author and a human rights champion. The inspiration for this poem came from her own childhood memories of Thanksgiving at her grandparents' house. As Unitarians and others started to reimagine Christmas, the distinctively Yankee tradition of Thanksgiving became the template they followed in establishing how Christmas could be celebrated. This poem by Lydia Maria Child was adapted to a song that you may have heard. But today, are we going to watch the video? Yeah. No? You got, okay. So the original plan was to have Reverend Maggie read it, and we couldn't find it, but apparently we have it. So Reverend Maggie is going to read it, and the original was published in 1844. So this is a very old poem. But I'll hand it over to Reverend Maggie Yanoki.
It's even older than me. Yeah, we worked some magic, so we made this happen. You'll probably be singing in your head with these words, but let's enjoy this time with poetry. Over the river and through the wood, to grandfather's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifted snow. Over the river and through the wood to grandfather's house away. We would not stop for doll or top, for 'tis Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, oh how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Over the river and through the wood and straight through the barnyard gate. We seem to go extremely slow. It is so hard to wait. Over the river and through the wood, when grandmother saw us come, she will say, "Oh dear, the children are here. Bring a pie for every one." Over the river and through the wood, how grandmother's cap I spy. Hurrah for the fun, is the pudding done? Hurrah for pumpkin pie. Over the river and through the wood, with a clear blue winter sky, the dogs do bark, and children hark as we go jingling by. Over the river and through the wood, to have a first-rate play. Hear the bells ring ting-a-ling-ding, hurrah for Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, no matter for winds that blow, or if we get the sleigh upset into a bank of snow. And over the river and through the wood to see little John and Anne. We'll kiss them all and play snowball and stay as long as we can. Over the river and through the wood, trot fast, my dapple gray. Spring over the ground like a hunting hound, for 'tis Thanksgiving Day. Over the river and through the wood, old Jowler hears our bells. He shakes his pow with a loud bow wow, and thus the news he tells.
Thank you, Reverend Maggie. And now, Alan and Alita, could you come up here, please? Religious Exploration would like to celebrate you in particular. Yeah, if they'd like, they can sit. This might be a minute. And also, you guys have been involved in RE for quite a while, much longer than I've been director. So I had to call in a ringer. I hope you don't mind. But Amy Randall, can you come up to the mic, please? Amy was the director of Lifespan Religious Exploration before me, and she was instrumental in their involvement in RE. So I asked her to share a few words. Amy.
Thank you. So, how do you talk about two people who've been integral in your life, both professionally and personally, for so many years? It's so difficult to put into some words what they've meant to me, but here's my attempt. But a bit of history first. In 2001, I was hired as the Director of Religious Education. Yes, that was my title. It did not change into 2017 when it was changed to the current Director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. In 2004, with an overall registration of about 43 children, we decided we needed to start a preschool class. So after about a year of volunteer parents and irregular attendance of children, that class was disbanded. We did have a curriculum, but it didn't go very far. But the obvious need was still there. And so I was able to convince the board that we needed a professional. And so we were able to advertise for a paid position. In March of 2006, the universe opened a door and Letha Comstock popped out. Not only was she trained as a behavioral technician and had worked with children for decades, but she has a heart of gold. At that time, we also had about 50 registered kids, which meant we were running 4 distinct age classes. So Alan jumped in to lead our high school class. Besides being an absolute perfect mentor, teacher, confident, and entertaining guide to the youth, I think he bought enough donuts to open his own shop. Around 2014, he even joined the RE Council and chaired it for a year. As demographics changed over the years, Letha became our lower elementary class teacher, and she trained new preschool teachers. In 2017, after 11 years of working in the program, she retired. Yeah, no, not really. Letha continued helping in the RE program just as a volunteer, including a stint on the RE Council beginning in 2019. And besides teaching and being council members, they did everything and anything needed. They would come early to set up for parties, stay late to clean up. I remember Letha helping me organize and clean our craft closet. When I was off, they would take care of the whole program. In one of Letha's evaluations, I wrote that, quote, she's a tremendous asset to our program, and I could depend on her for most anything. And parents often ask her questions because she's quite knowledgeable about the whole RE program. I also remember a time when Letha and I traveled up and down the hill to Debanaville for training. And because we were together in the car and got to talk about more than just religious education, I really got to know her better as a person. And that was very meaningful to me because it brought her closer together. We had a supervisor, a teacher relationship, but that trip made us real friends. And when I worked with Alan over the years in probably 5 or 6 coming of age classes, we connected more and became closer. I can't even begin to tell you the impact that Alan and Lisa have had on our program. And being a person who loves words, I decided to use a thesaurus to look up some words. And here's just a few that I would use to describe them. Exceptional, tireless, altruistic, proactive, passionate, magnanimous. And Lisa and Alan did everything with their whole heart and their whole soul. For almost 15 years while I was the director, they were my left hand, my right hand, and part of my brain. And now they're a big part of my heart, and I'll miss them very much. So thank you, Lisa and Alan, for your love, constant dedication to me, the RE program, and our whole congregation. I'm eternally grateful.
Oh, we're not done. Thank you so much, Amy. Yeah, I knew, they'd been involved in RE so long, I had to reach out to Amy and ask her for help on this. I first met Alan when I was recruited by Amy to be in YRUU facilitator. YRUU stands for Young Religious Unitarian Universalist, and it's a class for our high school age youth. While leading that class, Alan and I would regularly, for some reason, agree to supervise the youth overnights where we would watch truly amazing movies that would inspire and teach the youth valuable life lessons. This was how I saw the movie The King's Speech, for instance. It was one that was particularly inspiring for me. But we would also watch other movies. Alan brought movies that I don't quite know how to describe to us, like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter and Demon Hunters Dead Camper Lake. These schlocky, cheesy, and honestly bad movies were also charming and funny. And despite the discomfort of sleeping on the floor in the crowded founder's room after a Halloween haunted house, Alan was always down to give space to the kids to be themselves. I didn't know Letha as well back then, but I got to know her recently. And I've gotten to see that she is a kind and gentle soul who knows how to help the children grow into their best selves. Her patience and care for the children is evident in every conversation she has with them. Recently, she was speaking with our coming of age class and talked about some of the behavioral tactics that she's learned as a behavioral technician or whatever the title was. But she shared this with them, and Max was like, I didn't know you were doing all that. I just thought you were nice. And she's very nice, but she knows how to get the kids to behave without being an authoritarian, without yelling orders and being disciplinarian. She's able to motivate them to be their best selves. During COVID, Letha and Alan both stayed on in their roles longer than expected to help the church transition through a difficult year. Alan was on the board, president of the board, and Letha was our chair of Religious Exploration Council. As director of Religious Exploration, I've relied so heavily on both of them in my transition into that position, and even once I was established. Recently, as in last week, I had to take time off so I could spend Thanksgiving helping a friend who was going away for the weekend watch her dog. And Alan and Letha were there to unlock the doors, set up the classes, disable the alarm, and make sure that everything went smoothly. Letha even continues to help teach new preschool teachers, as Brianna, who's come into this position recently, has been learning how to do spirit play with her. And spirit play is a way of telling stories using the children's imaginations to help them learn and grow and deepening their roots here at Monte Vista. I could talk all day about how these two people have done for religious exploration, and they still wouldn't be enough, and I'm sure Amy has probably had to edit down her speech quite a bit. And that would leave out everything else they do here because, like I said, Alan was board president, and Letha is currently on the board now as secretary. Letha was also on the task force that helped us reshape our operating structure and is... and so much more. You guys, no joke, The list is never ending, and even though they are moving to Utah, they've promised to continue being involved in Coming of Age, where Alan is a facilitator and Letha is a mentor, and they'll stay on the teams that they're part of and on the board and continue coming through Zoom as much as they can. So even though we're saying goodbye to them this week, we're not really saying goodbye to them. We're just going to be seeing them in a different way through a computer screen mostly. In honor of all that you guys have done, though, and will continue to do for religious exploration, I wanted to give you guys a gift, and this comes from not just RE, but from the entire church. So you told me specifically not to give you guys gifts because you're trying to downsize, but I don't listen, and you guys should know that by now. So I gave you something, and I think you guys can move it. I thought this might be an appropriate gift. So my mom and I, we make sublimation printing, so we print it up on this doormat. It says, "All are welcome." It's got the rainbow colors. It's got some chalices on it. And you may notice that there is a blue shape in there because I heard that you guys were looking for a blue Utah. So here you guys go. When neighbors come over and try to convert you to Mormonism, you can try to try to convert them to you. So thank you guys for everything that you do. And while I go and stop myself from crying, Laura Mulroy, can you come up here, please? And she'll read our affirmation of faith, or our affirmation today. And yeah, well, you're going to be coming back up, so. So our affirmation is, "You are the holiday miracle," and it's by Gwen Matthews. So it starts here and ends here.
It's very hard to follow that, but the title of this reading is perfect. You are the holiday miracle. As December opens up before us, we welcome in the gift of reflection. We turn toward our holiday celebrations and search for common threads of meaning. We begin with Yule, the winter solstice, and we are invited to explore duality, cycles and seasons, and to witness the Holly King being overcome by the Oak King. Yule reminds us that we all partake in the miracle of renewal. Hanukkah, the festival of the lights, commemorates a time of miracles when the faith of the Jewish people sustained them to reclaim their holy temple and keep the light of the menorah burning for 8 days. Christmas, the celebration of Jesus' humble birth in a manger, offers us to revisit the miracle of birth and the desire to find saviors to heal the scars of humanity. Here in our church, you are just as much a holiday miracle as the turning of the earth, as persistence and dedication to a faith, as the creation of each new life. We see the love you give to others, the space you create to hold one another's joys and sorrows, and the generosity and spirit you entrust to this community. You are the holiday miracle. This community is one of miracle makers.
Thank you, Laura. And now if everybody would please rise together as you're willing and able, and we'll sing "This Little Light of Mine," number 118 in the gray hymnal. It'll be on the screen as well.
Yeah, please be seated. Is this my stuff? No, that's just over the roof. I had an offering message. Here we are. Good. It is a long-standing tradition of our congregation to co-create ritual each Sunday as we gather our offering during our weekly worship service. It is a time for meaningful reflection of the unique gifts that we each bring from our abundance. It is our contribution to the wholeness of our community and the many ways that the offering is spiritually symbolic to each one of us. We engage the ritual of bringing forward our offerings to say that the physical action of giving is essential to our spiritual well-being. Here at the Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist congregation, we also choose to share 50% of all offerings gathered that are not earmarked for pledges with a charity that serves the needs of our relatives, our friends, and our neighbors. They align with our values, and they were pre-selected by our justice team and approved by our board. For this new month of December, we will continue to dedicate our Share the Plate to the good work of the 111 Hope Foundation, created and very busy serving the high desert during the holidays by our own members, Caitlin and Manny Salgado. So at this time, I invite you to come forward with your generous offerings. We have a new receptacle for our offerings for the food bank at the Inland Valley Hope Partners. We didn't have enough room on the altar. We put a little wagon over there to capture all of your delicious donations, so thank you for those. And I invite you to now come forward in a spirit that is filled with grateful fellowship. We love you.
Thank you, Jill and Lily. That was incredible. Whoever put this order of service together, which was me, really messed up by putting me right after that. That was incredible. Today, our service is titled Illumination with 2 U's because, you know, that's how we do. Illumination is a Unitarian Universalist holiday first introduced by the Unitarian Universalist Church of Little Rock. Celebrated during the winter season, this observance places a distinctively UU festival on the calendar during a time of year when many great religious traditions mark the change of seasons. Since 1994, the UU Church of Little Rock has celebrated Illumination, a holiday conceived within one of their member families in response to their children's desire to celebrate not only the special days of other faiths, but a special day of their own. This holiday is practiced now in UU churches all over the country and is celebrated in many different ways. I've been reflecting on the idea of light as a symbol of hope as I put this service together. As someone who studied art in school, I think first about the iconography. Hans Deutsch, an Australian artist, first brought together the chalice and flame as a Unitarian symbol during his work with the Unitarian Service Committee during World War II. To Deutsch, the image had connotations of sacrifice and love. Unitarian Universalists today have many different interpretations of the flaming chalice, including the light of reason, the warmth of community, and the flame of hope. This symbol was used to help bring refugees out of occupied territories away from the violence of the Nazis and into safety. It was placed on documents to give them an air of respectability as they quietly saved countless lives. The symbol of the flaming chalice resonates with many of us in our lives. It takes on new meanings for everybody. For me, it helps remind me to bring the warmth, compassion, and hope to a world that is often struggling to find those most important things. When I was in art school, I took a drawing class, and I was never very good at drawing. This professor I had thought I wasn't even trying, and I kept telling her, no, I'm trying very hard. I just lack small motor skills in my hand. And anybody who has tried to read my writing can attest to that. Probably Letha and Allen. But Anyway, we were doing this assignment once in class where we had to pull a word out of a hat, do some research on it, incorporate what we learned in a still life drawing of an assemblage that the professor had put together in the room. I pulled out of the hat the word hope and struggled with it. I didn't know how to draw wine bottles and a mannequin, a football, a bicycle, whatever items were in the assemblage, and make them look hopeful. So I turned to the research that I had done for the week, and I thought too about the words, the sayings that we associate with hope. You know, every cloud has a silver lining, was one that resonated with me. And I thought about our flaming chalice and the dark history that surrounds it. And then I realized that hope is there, and the meaning that we find in everything is shaped by the dark and by what scares us. For instance, we don't look for the sun in the sky when we feel warmth on our skin, or when we're blinded by its light as we drive through rush hour traffic on our way to go to or from work. We look for the sun when the sky is cold and gray and cloudy, and that is the silver lining of the proverb. We light Christmas lights as a tradition that was adapted from pagan traditions of bringing the light of the world into their homes as the days grew longer and colder, to remind them that the seasons will change again and to give them hope for another day. So I drew dark streaks around the football that I saw in the assemblage, and I drew the light coming from it behind it, sort of like an aura, like the silver rays of the sun peeking up on the cloud. And my professor said she didn't see hope in it, and she asked me why I made something so dark. There was a lot of black on my page. And so I shared with her what I shared with you, that from this lesson, you know, I learned that hope is the light shining through the darkness, and you can't have the hope without the darkness. And from that lesson on, she stopped thinking I wasn't trying. She saw my work differently, and she saw that care and thought that I put into it. And even though technical skills weren't as strong as others in the class, she saw that I was working hard. She even said during our final critique that she realized that my drawings were like a really good gourmet grilled cheese sandwich. She said it might cost $20 at a fancy restaurant, but it's the best grilled cheese sandwich you ever had. I took it as a compliment, but I think it was only kind of half a compliment. I share all this with you today for Illumination because I thought it would be good to remind us that we shine brightly as UUs, and that the hope and compassion we offer to the world. About a month ago, I was up very late at night watching the news for, no particular reason, about November 5th, you might remember a day. And I was scared, and to be honest, I'm still a little scared about what the consequences of that night might mean for our country and for our world and for the future of our children. And I fretted over this night for several days, and I spoke with my therapist, and I spoke with my friends, and I spoke with my family, and everybody felt pretty similar. And that Sunday I came here, I set up the RE table, we had our usual classes, and I left feeling hope again. The darkness of the future, the uncertainty of the world didn't change, but being in community with all of you gave me the hope that I needed. It's not that UUs are perfect or that we're the chosen favorites or that we're necessarily smarter or better than anybody else. We're not, and we know that, but we care. And we care about each other, and we care about the world that we live in a way that inspires me to remain attached to the future that I want to see. You all are the light that shines bright in the darkness, and I hope that you carry that with you in the world. There are no dedicated traditions associated with Illumination, and we're stepping away from traditions that we've had for Chalaka that resembled those of other faiths. But I wanted to suggest that you tonight celebrate Illumination for yourselves by thinking about what gives you hope, what inspires you to compassion. If possible, thank the people in your lives who provide that for you. And tonight, if you can, find some darkness, either literal or metaphorical. Shine a light on it, light a chalice in your heart. And write a poem, meditate, sing a song, do whatever it is that you love doing, and shine in a way that maybe gives somebody else the hope that they need. Hold on a loved one's hand if they're struggling with something heavy, and be comfort, be the warmth of the sun on the cold and cloudy day. Illuminate the world around you, and let your little light shine. And now I'll turn it over to Jeannie Coates and Reverend Maggie Yunoki, who have a special ritual for us to honor two of our bright lights as they journey to Utah. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to see all of you here today, especially on this special day when we are honoring Alan and Letha Part of, that'll go to Jeannie Coates, please. We want to honor all of who they are as they leave, to go to a new, cross a threshold and go to a new part of their life that's going to turn out to be really beautiful. We've talked many times about how this journey for them just seems so synchronistic, and it's just breathed by the universe. Everything fell into place exactly as it should. But how can we let them go without honoring their pagan side, their big side, their inside? That's what makes them who they are, is their faith. So I invite you to join me as we sing a Celtic song that will come on the video. The words to this song are in your order of service as an insert. It's called The Parting Glass. Some of you may be familiar with it, and it'll surely bring a tear. Sing along however you're comfortable joining in. Okay, and then we'll have a little more ritual for today.
Will the guardians please take their place at the portal? It is with both sorrow and joy that we hold this ceremony. Alan, Letha, you have been such vital parts of our beloved community for so long that knowing that you are about to leave us is heart-wrenching. At the same time, we also feel joy that you are embarking on an exciting new chapter in your lives. May you live long and prosper. At this time, will you take your place before the portal? On the other side, yes, please. Thank you. As you pass through the portal, pause for a moment to receive the love that we send you. Then pass through in anticipation of crossing the portal of your new home, graced by your new floor mat and the next chapter of your lives. Blessed be. Indeed, indeed. Love and blessings follow your ways and light your path. Blessed be.
We of pagan ways love nothing more than a good ritual and meaningful gifts. So I have for you meaningful gifts. Actually, I'd like you to open the box. There's one for each of you there, and I'll put those on you. Here's this green one. Here's this green. Yeah. So in Celtic tradition, and actually in everyone's tradition, a knot is a form of connection. It's significant for the ways we are tied together and the ways we will always be tied together. What they have in their little gift bags are leis that were made out of Celtic knots. One is for prosperity. One is for weaving that will keep us woven together, grounding, love, and mostly gratitude.
Blessed be.
Please rise again. Please rise again as we sing our closing song. Go Lift It Up. It's number 1057 in the Singing the Journey. The lyrics will be on the screen. Please be seated. And Karen Lane, can you come up here, please, and read our Extinguishing the Chalice words while I put out our chalice. The words today are by Amy Zucker Morgenstern.
When we take fire from our chalice, it does not become less. It becomes more. And so we extinguish our chalice, but we take its light and warmth with us, multiplying their power by all of our lives and sharing it with the world.
Thank you so much. Now, please join me and read in unison our benediction. It's in your order of service. May we remember to be Unitarian Universalists every day and every way, even when we're not together. Blessed be. Thank you.